Good day everyone. Our report is all about understanding the insurance and legal issues. Catering events for clients is fun and potentially profitable career. It comes with several inherent risks. Catering insurance policies help to protect caterers from lots of risks they expose to every time they cater an event. Catering insurance is similar to restaurant insurance, but catering policies take into account the unique challenges and risks that serving of food at off-site location present. Most catering policies are written as a package policies, combining several coverages into the single policy. The first topic is a reward. Reward, something that is given to in return for goods or evil done or received that offered or given for some service or attainment. There are two kinds of reward, the intrinsic reward and the extrinsic reward. Intrinsic reward is intangible award of recognition, a sense of achievements or conscious satisfaction. An intrinsic is an internal reward that employees achieve for completing their tasks or projects successfully. Their reward are based on their performance and effort in doing their job. Intrinsic also are those that our caterers experience as the result of their successful implementation and execution of an event. The next one is the extrinsic reward. It's an award that is tangible, given to you for accomplishing something. They are usually the financial reward given to an employees, like for example the pay rises, bonuses, benefits.
Risk management is the task of identifying these potential hazards and creating standard operating procedures to prevent their occurrence. Crisis management team is a group of homogeneous managers and employees who can be quickly summoned to deal with a fire, a positive outbreak of a foodborne illness, a flood, or any other crippling crisis. Insurance. A coordinating crisis management team can help resolve the immediate needs of the situation. Addressing risk. Insurance coverage is not the only option for a caterer to address risk. A caterer may avoid or reduce or transfer risk. A caterer can implement a plan to avoid risk by eliminating all circumstances that cause it. Safety management team is to continuously monitor the environment to identify and correct potential risks, ensuring the proper safety of the employees and the guests. Elements to consider for a safety checklist. First, operation of all equipments. Second, flow of food through the operation from loading dock to the customer, with emphasis on proper handling of all materials including lifting and carrying of supplies and equipment. Third, storage areas including dry, frozen, refrigerated, and non-food supplies, cooler and freezer temperature storage alarms to alert the caterer to potential equipment malfunctions. Fourth, workstations, including the use and care of knives. Fifth, kitchen floors and tiles, with an emphasis on reducing slips and falls. Sixth, work procedures including proper lifting. 7. Outside areas including keeping the perimeter of the building clean to prevent the infestation of insects and rodents. 8. All management personnel and employees trained in first aid and CPR. Access for first aid kits for both on-premise and off-premise activities, local emergency, including periodic fire drills. 8. off-premise locations, buffet lines built on non-slip floors. 9. Defensive driving. 10. Housekeeping area. 11. Client services including handicap accessibility and safety measures. 12. Maintenance of equipment and their records. 13. Implementation of security systems such as video surveillance system, limited access to keys, or electronic control for valuable inventory storage areas, security procedures for the client and employee. 15. Washing area. 16. New employee orientation must include safety, fire emergencies, foods, hurricanes, power failure, telephones failure, hazardous materials spills, and automobile truck accidents.
A safety survey. Number 1, documents an active commitment to creating a positive safety record. Number 2, create safety procedures that become standard operating procedures. Number 3, identifies training needs. 4, documents guest comments and accidents related to safety issues. Provides for the continuous inspection and monitoring of the operation. Number 6, develops effective emergency procedures designed to protect the guest and the employee. Emergency procedures. Number 1, in case of an emergency, keep calm. Number 2, determine if emergency assistance is required. Do not attempt a rescue if it could result in an injury. Number 3, determine if the area is safe for the rescue personnel. Check for the fire or heat, smoke, exposed electrical lines, and chemicals. Number 4, dial 911. Stay on the phone with the 911 operator until told to do otherwise. Number 5, know the location. Provide the name of facility, address, phone number, and your name. Speak slowly and wait for the confirmation.
Reducing risk. Risk can also be reduced. A caterer can have a sprinkler system or a central alarm system to reduce the risk of life. Insurance Service Office or ISO. Standard insurance policies are written on form created by the Insurance Service Office or ISO. Generally, insurance company files their rates with the Insurance Commissioner's Office in stage where they desire to conduct business. Informed consumer. Becoming an informed consumer of insurance is very important to maintaining a healthy catering business. Property insurance. A caterer has a few options regarding the coverage of property insurance. Liability insurance. Premise operations or liability insurance coverage will protect the caterer against claims arising from the ownership, maintenance, or use of the premise and of the caterer operation in process. Personal and advertising injury liability. It will protect the caterer against claim, false alert, label, standard, and false advertising if the caterer had no knowledge of the falsehood. Fire damage liability provides coverage for the caterer's legal liability arising from the damage to structures rented by the caterer. Medical expense coverage, where reviews or reasonable medical expenses incurred by everyone except the caterer or the caterer's employees as a result of an accident without regard for the caterer's liability. Automobile insurance. The law for this vary depending on the stage in which the caterer is conducting business. Employment practice liability. Coverage has many options for deductible and limit to help a caterer tailor or policy to fit the needs of the organization. Selection of insurance. The most desirable program for a caterer is one that addresses all positive cases of loss with a combination of insurance safety practices and sensible transfer to risk at the least expense to the caterer. Insurance expense. A caterer trying to balance educate coverage and the cost of insurance is considered to be making at best uneducated guess.
Contract. Contract is a service agreement between a caterer and a client that specifies the details of a catering service taking place over a specific period of time for one or more events. Next is the basic contract stipulations. First, the exact number of people who will be served must be stipulated. The exact menu to be served, the type of serve to be provided at the event by the caterer and staff, the exact amount of time for each activity, and the exact price. Payment policy. Payment policy helps you get paid on time. Knowing when to expect payments help you plan for business expenses. Next is deposit and refund policy. A deposit is security for the buyer performance of the contract. It is generally not refundable unless the contract expressly states otherwise. Next is cancellation and refund policy. Should the event be cancelled by the caterer will fully refund and deposit within 10 days of the date of cancellation. Method for counting guests. Guest count is an incredibly important number in the event planning world. Guest count directly influences event cost, being that you pay per person. It's important to be accurate so you don't go over your budget, and to ensure that every guest is well cared for because they are accounted for. Next is banquet event order. Banquet event order isang dokumentong ibinibigay sa buong team ng catering kung paano ito i-execute para masigurado na ang bawat isa ay mayroong iisang pahina o topic. Ang BEO ay piniprepare ng catering manager sa isang hotel o event coordinator. Ang BEO ay nakakatulong para sa mga pagkasunod-sunod ng bawat gawain.